Tim Ireland, final speech. At 10 o'clock p.m. on Monday, April 13th, 1970, Jim Lovell's voice crackled over the radio with 5 words that will forever be remembered by the American people. He'd been talking back and forth with a small room full of engineers for hours on end, when suddenly, over the course of a couple minutes, conditions on his side of the two-way radio deteriorated into sirens, flashing lights, and quickly falling oxygen meters. After hearing a loud bang outside of his VW van-sized spacecraft, Mission Commander Jim Lovell reported the iconic words to Mission Control: "Houston, we have a problem." Jim Lovell led quite the extraordinary life. First an Air Force test pilot, and then an astronaut, he overcame many obstacles that most of us will never see in our entire lives. Because of his incredible skill as a leader of other men, and because of his ability to overcome incredibly difficult odds and to perform well under pressure, Jim Lovell has created a powerful role model for future pilots and aviators. Now, Jim didn't start off in a leadership position. You see, he had always had a dream of becoming a pilot or an astronaut while he was young, but his mom didn't have the money to send him to college, and his dad had died while he was young. Following his gut and his love of aviation and his need for someone to sponsor him, he was eventually enrolled at the Naval Academy at Annapolis, where he began to show skills better than your average midshipman. In fact, Jim Lovell wrote his senior thesis on the unheard of topic of liquid-fueled rocketry in an attempt to gain the attention of his superiors. It worked, and after Annapolis, Jim lived aboard an aircraft carrier, where he learned how to pilot jets. After working his way up to the level of flight instructor, Jim moved on to bigger and better things, namely a job as an Air Force test pilot, and then an astronaut, which was his dream all along. Now, although he had had some leadership positions throughout his aviation career, like a flight instructor, Jim's true chance to shine was the fateful Apollo 13 mission, where he was elected mission commander. Being a mission commander meant that he made the decisive calls to save the ship when one of the command module oxygen tanks exploded. Jim kept his crew's morale up, even though he personally feared that he may never see his family again. Because of his skill as a leader, Jim has created a powerful model for many future pilots and astronauts. Jim's only skill, greater than his ability to lead other people, was his incredible performance under pressure. Now, even before becoming an astronaut, Jim wasn't a stranger to stress. In fact, he had many times landed aircraft on aircraft carrier decks without lighting, or even survived near crashes with dangerous test aircraft. With all of that experience in his head, Jim was able to react quickly and decisively when things went south on Apollo 13. He constantly communicated with Mission Control while taking readings of vital things like oxygen or electricity, knowing that even minor miscalculations could cost the lives of himself and his other 2 crew members. Jim's performance under pressure is surely the reason that Apollo 13 returned home after one of the worst space disasters in history. Jim Lovell has created an incredible moral mold for many people, including myself. After reporting that to Mission Control, "Houston, we have a problem," Jim did everything in his power to fix it and to bring his crippled spacecraft and crew back home. Because of these 2 very important skills of his, I believe Jim deserves our praise as a true American hero.